The Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance is a statewide nonprofit that provides advocacy, education, resource, and referral services for the over 100,000 Minnesotans with brain injury, their loved ones, and also professionals in the field of brain injury. We have a very robust citizen advocate program who work together towards positive public policy changes in an effort to enhance the system of supports and services for Minnesotans with brain injury and also prevent brain injury. In light of the recent news that we actually have a projected budget surplus, we thought it the perfect timing to unveil our policy priorities and give policymakers an idea of what we'll be working on and what we need all Minnesotans to rally around.
Hi all, I'm very glad to be here to be able to tell you how brain injury has affected our family life. My daughter had an automobile accident when she was 22 and had to give up her career in nursing. She was in the hospital almost a year, but we're extremely proud of her that she has come as far as she has and accomplished so much. Our issue now is that we want Linda to be able to live as independently as possible without so much of her father and my help. Because as you can see, we're aging and we need to have her have a lot of services when we're no longer here. The way to accomplish this is for Linda to be able to access independent living skills without having to become impoverished. She already is considered low income. We don't need to have her become lower than low income. So the issue is that the income level and asset level must be raised for people with disabilities to the same level as other adults in the Affordable Care Act. And then she will be able to continue on improving and getting better and not being a burden on society. Thank you very much.
Hello, all. My name is Gregory Schwab. I'm here as a representative of the Minnesota Brain Injury Citizen Advocate Academy. In 2005, I experienced a brain injury of my own that left me incapacitated and in a coma for 1 month. Brain injury affects everybody, and not in a direct way, but in a financial way. And we are capable of changing the dynamic where everyone must pay the same amount for those who have had the misfortune of experiencing brain injury by advocating personal injury insurance, being more for those who are not wearing helmets when they are involved in brain injury accidents. I've described the problem, and the solution is legislation that you can help push through. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm glad to be here. My name is Brittany Van Bockel. I'm here representing my brother Jay Van Bockel, who was in a car accident 2 years ago. He sustained a brain injury and he was in a coma for quite some time, and he has since woken up from his coma and he is now unable to walk or talk due to his brain injury. He is currently going to Courage Center for rehabilitation, and he has relearned how to do a lot of stuff, but it's going to be a long road. So it's important for him to be able to be given all the rehabilitation services that he can get to maximize his recovery. There's a 5% campaign going on that would provide better cares to individuals with disabilities, and I'd really appreciate it if everybody could take their time to support that, and thank you for having me.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Richards. I'm very happy to be here. When I was born, I suffered a brain injury caused by the umbilical cord being wrapped around my neck. I in spite of that, I have been successful in graduating from high school, getting an associate's degree from college, and obtaining my license as a licensed practical nurse. In 2006, I needed to have a major medical procedure called a hip replacement, which caused me to go on medical assistance with a spin down. I would like for the Affordable Care Act, the section with seniors and people with disabilities, I would like the asset limit and income limit to be eliminated so that everyone has access to the same services. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Deborah Bailey. On January 20th, 2012, I was on my way to work when my car slid on the ice and slammed into the concrete median. I experienced a brain injury as a result of that crash. After my injury, I was unable to walk and used a wheelchair. I had difficulty speaking, I had difficulty with eating, dressing, reading, thinking, remembering, telling time, and pretty much every other area of life. Since then, I've had months of therapy and other services, and I've experienced significant recovery. After my injury, I was hospitalized briefly, and then when the doctor decided that I was well enough to go home on a Saturday, the nurses and the hospital social worker were concerned about me being home alone over the weekend with no support services. So they arranged for me to go to a nursing home for the weekend. They decided that that would allow for time for appropriate services to be arranged for the following week. On Monday, when I expected to be going home, the nursing home staff told me that I would not be going home and that in fact I had to stay at the nursing home for at least 2 weeks. That was a very traumatic experience for me. And it was also vastly more expensive than arranging for in-home care, even over a weekend. We need policy changes so that people with disabilities can access services on weekends or holidays, particularly on an emergency basis. And we need to bring this matter to the attention of policymakers who can make sure that we don't continue to spend money unnecessarily in situations like this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Richard Cullen. I have trouble speaking properly, so please bear with me. I had a stroke 2 years ago because I had a surgery for somebody the doctor did a mistake for 35 years ago. And on the table I had a stroke. When I came to, I could not walk, talk, or write, or read. I was determined to get my life back, and insurance company was short on therapy. I did it most myself. Arizona Congresswoman Gifford was shot. Got a lot of therapy. Why? Because they had a means to do it. The solution for me or better coverage on insurance companies to better coverage for therapy for all other people that have brain injuries. Not all people can do it what I did myself. So thank you.
Thank you. So the stories you heard today represent just a very small selection of so many issues that folks are facing all across Minnesota who've sustained a brain injury or supporting those with a loved one with a brain injury. In closing, I just wanted to recap the 3 critical issues that the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance will be working on this session, as was illustrated in the personal stories and how that affects them directly. Number 1, we need an increase in the medical assistance income and asset standards. We need a 5% provider rate increase for home and community-based services. And we also need to take a look at the motorcycle insurance policies and do some reforms in there to make sure people are better protected within their insurance policies. You've also heard it illustrated very succinctly. We also just need clearly better access and quality of services for Minnesotans with brain injury. Please join us in these efforts, support these policy positions, and ask your policymakers to support them as well this session, especially in light of a budget surplus that we're going into session with. In that, I'd like to close. We will, of course, be here to answer any follow-up questions you may have and look forward to your support on these issues. Thank you.